So, procrastination, that's a topic I get asked about quite a lot because everybody procrastinates. Everybody finds themselves not doing what they know they should be doing. We have so much information available to us, so many things that we could be doing to get towards our goals, to improve things, yet we don't do it. And it's frustrating, and people want to know why. And it can be all kinds of reasons why we procrastinate, but the main two things that I've found for people is capacity and clarity. So you do not have the capacity to do what you need to do, or you don't have a clarity around how to do it or what you need to do. Now, capacity comes under things like energy. So, do you actually have the energy to do it? Do you have the bandwidth to do it? Mental, emotional, physical bandwidth to do this thing? How's your nervous system? Is it in a position where you can push forwards, or is it in a position where you need to focus on recovery work? Because if you're procrastinating, it could be a sign that your nervous system is shot and it's seeking safety. Do you have the skills to do it as well? So not just having the energy and the bandwidth to do it, do you actually have the physical skills that you need to take action to do the thing that you need to do? So capacity is always the first thing to look at. Capacity can be slightly harder to fix because it requires specific work in these particular areas. So you might need to do an energy protocol, might need to do some nervous system work, you might need to literally work on your skills in an area. So it could be any of those things, and they can take a little bit longer. The clarity component is a lot easier. Figuring out what you need to do and how to do it is pretty straightforward. And for most people, that's always a good starting point. Finding your focus, knowing where to start, because there's so many different things going on in life, and sometimes it feels like you're juggling a million different balls when you don't even know how to juggle. So, figuring out what key thing to focus on to begin with can help a lot. So, the way I would do this, and this is something you can do, is to write down all the different areas of your life and look across them. Okay, so your relationships, your work, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your connections with your community, whatever it is, just write down all the different areas of your life, the ones that really matter to you and have significance. Then rate them all. So, how well are you doing in that area? So, for example, if you are exercising regularly, you're eating well, you're on top of your sleep, then you're probably going to rate that quite highly. If, however, you are the opposite, so you're eating crap all the time, you're not sleeping, you're staying awake with caffeine instead, then you're probably going to rate that low. And you can go around and rate each of these different areas of your life. And when you have a series of ratings, you can look across the ones that need the most work. And they should be your most immediate constraint. They should be the things that we want to focus on immediately to try and get a lift, to get an improvement. These would be the easy wins. So, for example, if you, let's take physical body, for example, let's say you were not doing any exercise whatsoever. So you were rating yourself fairly low on there. What's the most immediate, easy thing we could do? Well, we can add some daily movement. And it doesn't need to be a hardcore CrossFit session in the gym, nothing like that. It could be a 20-minute walk. Straight away, that gives us a lift. It gives us a win in that area. And then usually what happens when you improve one small thing, a lot of other things follow. So when people start to improve their exercise habits, their nutrition habits tend to follow. So it's the old saying of a rising tide lifts all ships. If you can start to improve one area, the other things will tend to lift as well. And it doesn't take a huge amount. So what I would urge you to do if you are prone to procrastination, first make an assessment. Is it a capacity issue or is it a clarity issue? And if it's a clarity issue, look across all these different areas of your life, rate them, find the lowest rated ones, and see how you can get the easiest quick win in there. Because quick wins give you the momentum. They start to have a knock-on effect throughout. There's nothing wrong with a quick win. Okay, people think, oh, it's got to be a long-term journey, it's got to be this. Yes, it has. But long-term journeys are made up of a series of smaller things. And if you try and do the big thing immediately, you will fail. This is why people very rarely create a lasting change when they go all out with something. You know, you've seen it time and time again. Someone says they're going to get fit, they're going to get healthy, they're going to completely change their life. They start trying to do the hardest thing they possibly can. They do, all this stuff that they've planned to do, they're going to do it perfectly to a super high level, and they do it for a day, maybe a week, maybe even 2 weeks, and then they fall off because they don't have the capacity to do it. So we're going back to capacity. They don't have the skills to do it. They've set themselves up to fail before they've even started. But if you can do something simple, even just a 5-minute action, something that gets you a step forwards, then you'll generate momentum and things will start to build. And then you start to notice that progress comes easier and procrastination becomes less.